In psychology, there's a concept called transference, when a client projects feelings from their past onto a therapist. But there's another side to the coin: countertransference, when the therapist reacts emotionally to the client's projections. Countertransference happens when the therapist's own history, wounds, or emotions get stirred up in response to the client. Maybe the client reminds them of a sibling, an ex-partner, or even their own younger self. Without realizing it, the therapist may start reacting personally instead of neutrally. For example, a client might project authority struggles onto the therapist, treating them like a strict parent. In turn, the therapist might feel defensive or overly nurturing, as if they're stepping into that parental role. That's countertransference, the therapist's emotional world colliding with the client's. It's important to note, countertransference isn't always bad. In fact, it can be a valuable tool. If the therapist notices their reactions, it can reveal hidden dynamics in the client's story. It becomes a mirror, showing what's playing out beneath the surface. But when unrecognized, countertransference can cloud judgment. The therapist might over-identify, give advice that reflects their own life, or feel frustration that belongs more to their past than to the client's present. This can blur boundaries and weaken the therapeutic space. And here's the interesting part: countertransference doesn't just happen in therapy, we all experience it. Think of moments when someone new reminded you so strongly of someone from your past that you couldn't help but react emotionally, more than the situation really called for. That's countertransference outside the clinic. Old feelings stirred by new encounters. Our history is always alive, coloring how we see people today. The key, both in therapy and in daily life, is awareness. Noticing when your emotions are about them, and when they're really about someone else. This awareness allows choice. You can respond with clarity instead of being pulled unconsciously into old dynamics. Countertransference reminds us, relationships are never just about the present, they carry echoes of the past. But when we recognize those echoes, they can become tools for growth, healing, and deeper understanding.